We don't hate you. We don't care enough about you to hate you. We just see that you're a fool. You make a fool out of yourself virtually every day. That's why we talk about you. We're laughing at you. We're making a mockery of you. You're making a mockery of yourself. It's not hatred. You really should learn to distinguish between those two different emotions because you're receiving one in droves, and it's not hatred. You can act, like you're Beyonce all you want. You're not. And just like her, you can play the victim when you're not. But you're going to have your hands full with people laughing at you because you behave so foolishly.
When Megyn Kelly takes aim at a politician, it's never just casual criticism, it's demolition. Jasmine Crockett, once paraded as the Democrats' bold rising star, was dragged out of the spotlight and into the fire. Kelly didn't merely question her image. She dismantled it piece by piece, revealing a figure built more on theatrics than substance. What was supposed to be a meteoric rise now looks more like a nosedive, and Crockett's political future may already be in ruins.
I've had about enough of her. She wants to be like a member of the squad. She thinks of herself like an AOC. She talks like, she's from the hood. Meanwhile, she grew up in a nice family. She didn't talk like this 3 years ago. 3 years ago, she sounded like you and I sound in this conversation. Like, I'm really excited to be going to Congress. I can't wait to get started on my new job. And now she's like, we need a smack.
Kelly zeroes in on Crockett's habit of mistaking noise for power. The louder she gets, the more she convinces herself she's winning. But volume isn't intellect, and outrage isn't proof. Megyn Kelly strips away the performance, revealing that behind the shouting, flailing gestures, and overblown theatrics lies almost nothing of substance. It's like watching someone slam the table while the real debate unfolds elsewhere. Crockett confuses the echo of her own voice with authority, and Kelly tears that illusion apart with precision.
She claims to be, from her people. She puts on this image that she understands the Black American struggle. But let's face it, the girl went to private school. She went on to, I don't know what college and law school. She went to it's like, she's a complete fake.
Yeah.
She's as fake as her eyelashes. She's as fake as her hair. She's as fake as her fingernails. And she is such a massive fraud.
What makes Kelly's takedown sting is her ability to expose that Crockett's rise wasn't earned, it was manufactured. She wasn't elevated for her record or talent, but because a desperate political machine needed a fresh face to sell. Crockett became a convenient loudspeaker, a reliable attack dog for party leadership, but never demonstrated the depth or skill to lead on her own. Megyn Kelly rips away that protective veneer, revealing a politician propped up by optics, not ability, more mascot than mastermind.
Clinton administration.
Please calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk noise and then
You're out of control.
He said, Jasmine, what you have to realize is that if you are really going to make change, it's not going to be in the Texas House. He said, you did a great job playing defense, but you have a chance to play offense.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body.
Meanwhile, you pointed out, her high school looks like a cast.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon for more. Kelly doesn't just criticize, she contextualizes. She places Crockett in the long tradition of politicians who confuse performance with policy and self-promotion with public service. From her grandstanding in committee hearings to her obsession with viral sound bites and choreographed smirks for the cameras, Crockett feeds the spectacle. But for Kelly, that spectacle is the evidence. This isn't leadership, it's theater. And Kelly makes it clear. Crockett isn't a serious lawmaker, she's a bargain bin influencer who stumbled onto Capitol Hill.
Things was, we were having a committee hearing on oversight, and it was really late at night. And I was really irritated because I'm always like, why can't we work normal work hours like regular people, 8 to 5? I don't know what's wrong with Congress that we're always doing crazy things at 9, 10, 11, 2 a.m. under Nancy Pelosi. So we're on the oversight committee, and she is running off her mouth, and I shot at her about her massively huge fake eyelashes.
Yeah, this made news.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I said something along the lines of like, well, you can't read it because of your fake eyelashes.
The sharpest blow lands when Kelly dissects Crockett's so-called accomplishment. Her record, at best, is paper-thin. She excels at inserting herself into controversies, but when it comes to drafting meaningful legislation or producing results, there's almost nothing to show. Kelly drives the contrast home: Crockett's nonstop self-promotion versus the scant impact she's had on her constituents. The result is damning. Crockett's true talent isn't leadership, it's survival.
But you're going to have your hands full with people laughing at you because you behave so foolishly. And the fact that you're a diva bitch behind the scenes, so much worse. You're not even beloved by your staff. Like, you alienate everyone. The people who know you best don't like you. The people who are just glancing at what you're putting out there publicly don't like you. So who likes you?
Megyn Kelly zeroes in on Crockett's dependence on identity politics. Rather than defending her ideas, Crockett shields herself with race and gender, framing every critique as a personal attack. Kelly cuts through that defense with surgical precision, showing that no amount of identity-wrapped rhetoric can disguise shallow arguments, weak strategies, and misplaced priorities. The audience doesn't see a trailblazer. They see a politician cashing in on grievance politics. But Kelly doesn't stop there. She underscores Crockett's lack of discipline, contrasting her with colleagues who at least maintain a veneer of professionalism. Crockett can't resist lashing out, personalizing every disagreement, and turning policy debates into brawls. That might play well for viral clips, but in Washington it erodes credibility and leaves her powerless. Real leaders know when to press, when to hold, and when to strike. Crockett doesn't. She's pure impulse without strategy, and Kelly makes sure the audience sees it in stark relief.
Perfect. The Human Rights Campaign. These are the people who run around harassing every business to make sure that they're being pro-LGBTQ and pro-DEI and not doing anything that a Human Rights Campaign finds offensive in any way, shape, or form, unless if you are in a wheelchair and are the governor of Texas, in which case it is fine for Jasmine Crockett to do this to you. Watch.
Because we in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Megyn Kelly also skewers the hypocrisy woven into every corner of Crockett's persona. She rails against privilege while profiting from it, denounces the system while cashing its checks, and preaches justice while mocking anyone who dares to disagree. Kelly lines up example after example, driving home the point that with Crockett, hypocrisy isn't an occasional slip. It's the operating principle. Nothing corrodes credibility faster, and Crockett wears it like a badge. Kelly's strength is cutting past the noise. Where Crockett thrives on chaos and confrontation, Kelly refuses to be baited. Instead, she methodically exposes the weaknesses beneath the performance, how the outbursts signal insecurity, how the hunger for attention betrays a lack of confidence, and how the constant defensiveness reveals an inability to engage in real debate. The result isn't a portrait of strength, but of someone fragile and in over her head, lashing out at critics who see through the act. The takedown sharpens further when Kelly turns to Crockett's obsession with image. Crockett treats politics like branding, chasing viral clips, staging sound bites, and dressing for the camera as if Capitol Hill were a runway. But Kelly makes clear that this fixation is a trap. The more Crockett invests in her brand, the more she exposes just how little substance there is behind it.
Guest has some more on Ms. Crockett. He's Benny Johnson. He's host of The Benny Show, and he has an exclusive report now on Crockett's alleged background. See, he traveled to where Crockett claims she is from a tough area of South Dallas. You know, you hear her speak. She tries to talk street like, okay. Compared to where she's actually from, it's quite a different picture. Where she's actually from is a beautiful, well-manicured area for the elite.
Crockett has built her career on bursts of outrage, but outrage fades fast. The same crowd that cheers her today will forget her tomorrow, leaving her scrambling for the next viral moment. Kelly underscores the emptiness of that approach, calling it the political version of a sugar rush, loud, fleeting, and ultimately hollow. When it comes to opposition, Crockett doesn't engage, she attacks. Critics aren't debated, they're demonized. Policy isn't discussed, It's smeared across soundbite. Kelly exposes this for what it is: intellectually lazy and politically corrosive. Division may keep Crockett in the headlines, but it robs her of credibility and makes her incapable of building alliances. A wrecking ball that smashes indiscriminately isn't powerful, it's useless. The most brutal turn comes when Kelly flips Crockett's supposed strengths into glaring weaknesses. That quick temper her fans confuse for passion looks more like immaturity. Her boldness, spun as fearlessness, reads as recklessness, and her defiance, branded as authenticity, is revealed as thinly veiled insecurity. Kelly doesn't just critique Crockett, she redefines her, dismantling the carefully crafted persona and replacing it with a far less flattering truth.
The thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey.
I got to check my woke rule book, Walter, but I'm not sure I don't think that's allowed. I do not think you refer to the guy who's in a wheelchair as the governor of your state as Governor Hot Wheels. Some of her defenders online are like, we all call him that down here. And as far as I can tell, it's only nasty leftists who do. Not sure that gives you a pass.
What makes Megyn Kelly's dismantling of Jasmine Crockett so compelling is the effortless precision behind it. Crockett is all noise and theatrics, while Kelly is calm, exact, and unrelenting. Crockett flails, Kelly dissects. The Congresswoman's antics may be loud, but Kelly's analysis lands louder in its impact. By the end, the audience isn't just unconvinced by Crockett, they're embarrassed for her. Kelly strips away the thin shield of charisma and newcomer status, exposing a politician who is painfully ordinary, lacking both discipline and depth. And in Washington, where image can matter as much as policy, that kind of exposure is devastating. Crockett wanted the spotlight of a rising star, but after Kelly's takedown, she looks more like a shooting star, brief, bright, and already burning out. What makes the sting even sharper is Kelly's focus on Crockett's reliance on personality over substance. Charisma can score a few viral clips or headline moments, but it rarely sustains a career. Kelly shows that without real ability to back it up, Crockett's act is already wearing thin.
To become, instead of someone who dumbs themselves down or lies about where they come from to try to be more hood.
Yes, that's what she's doing all the time. And she didn't talk like this before either, where she's like, y'all, I know, my homie, and I'm like, okay, that didn't exist. We ran tape from her. Before she ran for office, she sounded like a normal person. But now she's gone full street with the super long nails too, and like the lips and the gloss and like the eyelashes. She's really laying it on because she wants to be seen as like this down-home girl who...
Kelly dragged that truth into the open, tearing away the theatrics and leaving Crockett exposed with nothing but the thin, unimpressive record she's tried to mask. That's the cruelty of political theater. Once the illusion shatters, it doesn't get rebuilt. Colleagues, opponents, even the media begin to see the person differently. Curiosity turns into doubt. Enthusiasm fades into eye rolls. The real damage isn't just that Kelly roasted her, it's that she confirmed what many already suspected but hadn't said aloud. It was an emperor has no clothes moment, and in politics, those moments stick. They become the defining memory. Kelly didn't just critique Crockett, she redrew her image. No longer the bold newcomer shaking up the system, Crockett now looks like just another overhyped name headed for a fast fade.
How do you even like... There's no reaching across the aisle to that.
No,
Yeah, like,
not at all.
just-
Well, she's not a real person. So some interesting things that I've always observed about her is how she treats her staff. She treats her staff like they are just beneath her.
I read that in the New York Post. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Wow.
So she always has, one of her young male staffers has to carry her big, heavy handbag for her. She just hands it off. It's like,
The lesson is harsh but undeniable. Without substance, every star burns out faster than it rises. Crockett's critics now have fresh ammunition. Her allies carry new doubts. And voters who once gave her the benefit of the doubt will watch more carefully the next time she tries to seize the spotlight. That shift in perception is deadly and almost never reversed. Washington runs on reputation, whispers in hallways, and the stories traded behind closed doors. Kelly's roast won't just linger in headlines, it will echo in those circles. From now on, every stumble Crockett makes will be measured against Kelly's dismantling. Every misstep will reinforce the idea that she isn't ready, isn't serious, and isn't capable of living up to the hype. That kind of branding becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. In Washington, once you're tagged as unserious, doors close, alliances fade, and opportunities disappear before they ever reach your desk. Crockett now stands in the political danger zone, where unchecked ambition collides head-on with brutal reality.
Know that we work for the American people, and what we not gonna do is stand around while they pull this that they trying to pull right now.
Like, what do you, we have videotape. Why are you talking like that? No one believes this bullshit. And now she's graduated to acting like a thug. So congratulations, your term in the U.S. Congress is going really well.
If Crockett doubles down, she looks desperate. If she retreats, she looks defeated. There's no safe move left, and that's what makes Kelly's takedown so devastating. It cornered her. The brilliance of the roast isn't just in its sharpness, but in the trap it set. Any attempt to escape the frame Kelly built only reinforces Kelly's point. This wasn't just a wound, it was a definition. In politics, narratives are everything. Once one takes hold, it's nearly impossible to shake. Thanks to Kelly, Crockett's narrative is now locked. A politician propped up by hype, exposed as immature, and dismantled by someone who knows exactly how to strip away a facade. Kelly didn't just humiliate her in the moment, she may have branded her permanently in the public imagination as a lightweight masquerading as a heavyweight. For a politician who craves the spotlight, that's the cruelest cut of all. The irony is brutal. Crockett wanted recognition, and she got it, but not the kind she imagined. Instead of being celebrated as a rising star, she's become a cautionary tale about what happens when hype outruns ability. Political momentum builds careers, but once it shifts against you, it's almost impossible to recover. Kelly shifted the wind, and now Crockett is fighting not for influence, but for survival. For someone chasing the label of rising star, the fallout could not be worse. Stars rise by commanding respect and proving staying power. But Kelly exposed Crockett before she ever had the chance to prove otherwise. The brand is tarnished, the image cracked, and the whispers in Washington have already begun. From now on, when Crockett's name comes up in political circles, the story won't be her promise. It'll be how Megyn Kelly dismantled her with ruthless precision. That's the mark of a truly devastating roast. It doesn't just win the moment. It rewrites the narrative. And for Jasmine Crockett, that rewritten story may be the beginning of the end.